Same size.
So Dexter killed the man. He killed Amazing Red. He killed Ronald off of the first encounter of him preparing of what he was gonna do. And I think they've already given us like a big hint and a big clue. Now before I even get started on today's video, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, get on in here if you're new to the channel, right? So uh this big clue that they've given us of seeing how Dexter got like the invitation after when he was killing Red, and it's like, okay, now he's going to be introduced to, I guess, like the serial killer's ball. So I'm guessing what they're going to probably do throughout this entire season is have Dexter pick off the serial killers like one by one, until eventually he gets to like the last person who's actually in charge, and then he probably have, kills that person and like the serial killer's ball. Because for everybody to be there at the event is going to be interesting, because nobody knows that Dexter is the Bay Harbor Butcher. They gonna think he's the guy who's killing like taxi cab people, right? He's the taxi cab killer, or the dark passenger, and it's like he's going to assume the role because he seeing how he and Red look alike, and he's gonna assume the role. Like, well, yeah, I am him, and I'm the guy that's killing taxi cab people, and that's gonna be so cool though, because he's gonna be in there, and he's going to be, systematically dismantling a whole bunch of serial killers that is responsible for killing a whole bunch of other people. So I'm like, I can't wait to see that. And the other takeaway from this episode, I will say, is that Harrison was able to evade like the detectives again, because when you have see, every time I say her name is like Oliver or Olivier, right? But he avoided her, and he said that, well, because her investigation and her detective skills is pretty good. She would give Batman, or I think, I wouldn't say run for his money, but I think she'll probably be steps ahead of probably trying to unveil like who Batman really is, because the way she's going into like detective mode is like as if this is a damn video game, and she's trying to figure out like, okay, all of the steps of everything that's taking place. And technically she still look at Harrison as like, well, he seems like he's the guy, but two, he sort of threw her off the trail and said, well, he's been living in like the hotels because he's homeless. He doesn't have anywhere else to go, so he's been staying there. And that's when they said, all right, we need a person to corroborate this story. And then that's when they talked to Elsa about it, and she's she confirmed the story. Now I think that what's going to probably happen is that she probably could get fired, because they might say like, you're not supposed to allow him to stay here. Even sure he works here, but he can't be living in these hotel rooms like that. So she probably might get fired, and then her and Harrison's little thing that they got going on together probably might not work out, because the way how Dexter was following his son, just having like his father tell him, he's like, well, son, I haven't been around for that long. I didn't get a chance to be old enough to be old, and you should really see your son. And he's getting closer and closer each episode of wanting to see his son, but then he just comes up with an excuse not to see his son. And he sees that his son is, he likes a girl, but he doesn't want to get involved. But we know eventually they're gonna cross paths once again. Now the cool part about all of this is my man Angel Batista. I thought he was gonna stay in Iron Lake for a little while until something popped off, but it turns out he went back to Florida. And it was great to see Masuka and Quinn again. I said, hey, we got the old peoples. And he's sitting there having a drink, and then that's when Teddy, texts him, and he says, well, the truck has been pulled up. It's in New York City. And he's like, all right, give me the address, and I guess the name of and the name and the address. So he gets that. And then that's when he talks to Masuka Quinn, and he's like, well, listen, guys, everything's gonna be revealed in due time. I got this one last score, this one last itch. I thought he was gonna tell them both that Dexter's alive. I thought he was going to tell him that, but then it would have set up something. Because remember, Quinn was already looking at Dexter the same way everybody else was looking at him. Like, I don't know, there's something off about you. I don't know, because everybody started to pick that up. Like, nah, there's something off about him. And after a while, it kind of got dropped, because when Deborah died, and we know how Quinn was in love with Deborah, so that ordeal basically died. And I don't think Batista would have wanted to dig up any old memories of like, well, he's alive and how it's a bunch of stuff that he would have to explain and he didn't want to explain. So that's when he says, guys, everything's gonna be revealed in due time. So the way Angel Batista is coming off as if he's gonna go to New York City and kill Dexter. That's what it sounds like to me. Like he's gonna go up there and just kill Dexter. And I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa! Like all this last goodbyes. I got one last score, and I'm like, are you gonna go to New York City to try to find Dexter and kill him? I'm like, oh no, this can't happen. But I think everything that's going to be in this episode is going to be, well, in the season is going to be revealed in due time, because the way that they slowly building things off of Dexter, getting back into the motion and him befriending Blessing and his family, and them sharing stories about like personal growth and departure and family, and they got him thinking about his own son, but he doesn't want to get involved, and he just wants to he want to help his son, but he doesn't want to like see him like in a way. But the one line that sort of caught me was when he was talking about how there was no partnerships here in the whole serial killing business. And the thing is, if anybody remembers in the original series of Dexter, he had a protege that he was working on at the time, but then I think the serial killer that Dexter was hunting killed the protege, and I believe left his head either in his home, I think, or on his desk or something. It was something that happened, but I know that the serial killer killed his protege, and then that was it. But if he didn't kill him, pretty much that guy probably would have still been in Dexter's shoes, like or been the successor to Dexter rather than it being Harrison. It would have made for a very great and compelling story of Dexter's apprentice, right, committing a bunch of murders. Like he's the new Bay Harbor butcher, right, while Dexter is seemingly dead. Damn, they could have fucking told a good story right there. They could have had a whole damn story, but things happen the way it did. But it's like now that we're gonna get like this whole serial killer's ball, and Dexter's gonna meet a whole bunch of other serial killers. We do know he's gonna like get the information and take them out like one by one, and he has to work off the ring rust of him. Well, this was his first kill of returning after the whole Iron Lake business, but again, in Iron Lake, it was only like what, two people he killed? Well, three people he killed in Iron Lake. So, well, was there four? No, it was three. Yeah, it was three people he killed in Iron Lake. But yeah. So this is going to be interesting to see, and how he's going to maneuver his way into the serial killer's ball and taking out the serial killers one by one. But this is a big hint and a clue of what's to come. And I guess the other question is like, will we see Masuka and Quinn again? I would probably say, yeah. I think we probably might see them again, because I'm thinking if Batista is smart, he's gonna probably set something up in a way of, in case something does maybe happen to him, maybe word will probably get out to Masuka or Quinn that Dexter's alive and he's the Bay Harbor Butcher. Call somebody, finally do something, because again, in the last series of New Blood, everybody thought, why isn't Dexter in prison? He should have been arrested. Like we thought it was gonna go down, but it didn't. It just his girlfriend Angela, she left, or ex-girlfriend, she left, took her daughter and left, right? And that was pretty much it, and everything kind of got swept underneath the rug. But Batista does know that Dexter is the Bay Harbor Butcher, and he's going to look for him. But we know he's going to probably go through Harrison first and say, well, I need to find Dexter. It's either going to be either or. It's either Batista's going to reach out to Harrison first, or it's going to be Dexter that's going to reach out to Harrison first. But I think it's going to be Batista that's going to reach out to Harrison to tell him that, well, your father's this and that. Because he might not know that his father's actually alive. He's still thinking that he killed his dad. So, and Batista's going to show up and be like, nah, he's alive. He's probably in New York City. Man, I can't wait. This is going to be a great, compelling story. But overall, what do you guys think of this episode? Because I thought it was good. Every time when I be seeing these shows like Dexter, it just brings me back to how the original series was like great. I mean, there was some plot holes, but still was great nonetheless. But I can't wait for the next episode. But as always, like, comment, subscribe, and share. And I catch you all in the next one.